R&B money. We up. Thanks. J Valentine. We are the authorities on all things R&B.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm J Valentine, and this is the R&B Money Podcast. And today, I got one of my good brothers, somebody that really gave me a lot of game, and I just want to put it out there. He's the reason I'm a video hoe. The man Tronic himself. Huh? He been making y'all high for a long time, and hopefully he tells me some really cool shit today. My brother, Bryce Wilson.
My guy.
Hey, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
I've been waiting for you to pull up on me, dog.
Yeah, man. I've been waiting to come on here, man.
You know, because I know you don't talk to everybody.
I do not.
I know,
do
man.
not.
And that's when I first hit you. I was like, I could feel it's hesitant. It's hesitant. I'm his brother, so he gonna know that I ain't on no bullshit.
Absolutely.
Hey, man, we gonna kick this off. We can start this off before we tell the story, your story. So Bryce Wilson, I meet, and we were kindred spirits from the beginning, right?
Yep.
It was like, all right, the quote unquote pretty boy niggas who from a dark place.
Exactly.
That's the best way I could put it.
Exactly.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
me, you,
Exactly.
me. And it's funny, bro, because when we first met, I would just pull up on your sessions. I would just come pull up on you, man.
Come hang out.
Just hang out.
Yep.
And people that know me know that I don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta really fuck with you
Exactly.
if I'm just pulling up and it ain't about nothing else.
Yep. Absolutely.
And one night, I'm like, big bro, wildest request came my way, man. And I think you would understand this.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, my homegirl, new artist, I don't know if you heard about her, Keisha Cole. She asked me to be her video hoe.
Yep.
And I said, I'm asking you because you've been one.
I've been exactly. It's an elite club.
And that's what you said to me too. And I'm like, bro, I'm about to say no. I don't think I want to be in no videos, man.
Yeah. I was like, nah, you got to. You got to do it. Got to do it.
And I trusted your opinion of it so much. And I'm like, okay, that's what I needed. I needed my dog to tell me, like, nah, bro, you should do it. Because you could have told me too, like, listen, I did that video, bro, and it fucked some shit up, or it wasn't right for me.
Yeah.
And
It does surprisingly well for you.
it did. It won't go away. It won't, like, bro.
It'll
like,
never go away. It's
especially
history.
now with the internet.
Exactly.
The
Exactly.
internet, I am a meme.
Yep.
I am, somebody want to be like, I seen something. When somebody posted it, and it was like, this how you, if he look like this he gonna cheat on you. I'm like, what, bro?
Like I was just in the video.
I just had a do-rag on. Every nigga with a do-rag cheats.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But yeah, bro, you're the reason why I ultimately said yeah to doing that video.
Yeah, those are it's like that's not really our personality type,
Right.
but when it's done, it represents a moment in history.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm forever stamped.
Yeah,
In that video,
forever
and
stamped.
I mean, shit, Kanye produced the record.
Yep,
John
exactly.
Legend's in the video. Like it's random things that are happening.
Yeah.
In that video, man. And obviously Keisha went on to become a legend.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
I'm forever etched in
Yeah.
in that
And
part of her
that story.
history.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But yeah, bro. I had to
He's
get
still
that out the way.
available for more.
No.
You youngins, come check him.
No, I don't want to be in nobody else's video. I've been asked,
Yeah.
and I've said no.
Yeah.
I don't think I got paid for that video either. So I'm still waiting on Manny Haley.
Yeah. Manny, let's get that paper out.
Come on, Manny. You mean you
Yeah,
Brooklyn niggas,
yeah,
man?
yeah, I know.
Golly,
I got
man.
Manny that gig too.
Yeah.
With Keisha,
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I hung out with Keisha, and she was like, "Yo, you should manage me." And something was going on with the management company me and Jimmy had. We just had a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, "This guy Manny." I was like, "Manny from Brooklyn?" I said, "All right." So I took out to eat, called Manny, put them together. It was like, he gonna be a manager.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. Yep.
Look how it all. So okay,
Yeah.
you were planted there to tell me to do the video. See, now it's making more
Nah.
sense. Oh, this whole
Nah,
time.
I just
got
knew your
set up.
mindset. I knew your mindset because I've been there, and that the videos I ain't want to do, and then it ends up having that cultural currency where it's like, okay, this ain't this ain't so bad.
Yeah.
It works out.
All right. So okay, let's get to it now, man. Young Bryce, New York City.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a little bit of how this whole thing kicked off, bro.
Whole thing for me kicked off. I grew up between 3 boroughs, right?
Mm-hmm.
I grew up between Brooklyn, Jamaica, Queens, and Washington Heights, which is the top of Manhattan.
Okay.
And man, I heard it was like, I'm dating myself, but it was like when hip hop was just starting to, like become a thing, right? The rest of the country didn't know what was going on. It was literally
It was a New York thing.
Yeah, super New York thing. And it was right before the crack era came. And man, I heard a record for Run DMC, and it was just over. And I just kept evolving like into what I wanted to do. I wanted to be Rozelle from The Roots.
Mm-hmm.
I think Rozelle, he's from Harlem or the Bronx, but he moved to the corner of my block.
Oh shit.
So I had literally the best beatbox on the planet living up the street, right? So he's beatboxing. He's older than me, and I'm just like, it's like we got a celebrity on the block. And I ended up going to the high school I wanted to go to. They had an aviation program, and they didn't take me. So there was.
So you want to be a pilot?
Yeah, just like last minute. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I was like, let me do that. They didn't accept me, and there was a high school near my aunt's house in Jamaica, Queens, that it just looked beautiful. And from a child, being in the backseat of that car, whether I'm in Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, wherever, that was just one of those iconic pictures, just beautiful school. So my mother last minute was like, you want to go there? I was like, all right, let me do that. So
how old are you at this point?
14.
Okay.
So I use my aunt's address. I go, and this shit ended up being Gladiator School. Like literally,
oh shit!
Out of all 5 boroughs, we were number 4 in crime rate. So my school was the testing ground for every measure of security. Picture IDs, task force were like 6'5", 6'9", security. They were basically bouncers, right?
Yeah.
Hopping out of vans on you. First school in New York City to have metal detectors. Like this shit was crazy.
What the?
Yeah.
So this is this is the school from Juice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Like I look at Lean on Me, it's a joke. Like this school was really like it was Gladiator School. So I go there, not knowing what it was, and it's like you got to figure it out. Like you go be a victim or you go be on the other side.
Yeah.
And I went there, and I was a victim for the first month, and then by the second, going to the third month, I started turning up. It wasn't in my neighborhood. I was kind of foreign, and I met a good friend of mine, Jeff Shira, and he was from the hood.
Mm-hmm.
So he took me out there, introduced me to everybody, and then I just turned into a whole nother person, like a complete lost soul. And by month 6, they were doing a lot of things to try to fix it. They've changed the name of the school 15 times. It's just never worked. But the principal basically, they put together a task force, and they put together a list. And I made that list. And when you're on that list, they did a sweep, and you out.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but
and this is within 6 months.
Yeah. So I was out by January. I was out, right? The problem is, so my mother takes me shopping, right? And this is January. We go shopping in September for the school, and that's it. This is January, she take me shopping. I'm like, okay, this is cool. So I'm looking like this is like all my friends from the hood, because they always fly. Hood niggas always fly,
of course,
right? They ain't doing nothing in school, but they parents make sure they fly. So I'm like, all right, she gets it now. All right, cool.
She gets it.
Yeah, like she gets it, cool. So I'm feeling good. Next morning, she comes to me and she's like, "So you good? You okay? You like your clothes?" I'm like, "Yeah, I love it." She said, "Cool, cause you gotta go. I can't do this. You gotta go." I was like, "What?" So at the same time she does this, the next week I get swept, right? So now I'm kicked out to school. I don't know what the fuck to do, and then I find out that once you get kicked out of Andrew Jackson, no school in New York City takes you.
Because it's the worst of the worst, so they're just like, you got kicked out of there.
Yeah.
We're not taking you.
Yeah, you can't get into any school. Bronx, Brooklyn, Manhattan, nowhere. Staten Island, you're deadlocked out of the school system.
And you got kicked out of the house.
And kicked out of the house. Yeah. So
Shit.
yeah, so, and this is the weird thing. I met, I was in 8th grade. LL Cool J was in 11th grade. We had went to the same school, right? So while I'm in the school, me and him rolling to every school. We cutting school every day. He's rapping, I'm beatboxing. And I'm like, I'm making
You're
it.
LL Cool J's
I'm his
beatboxer.
I'm his beatboxer.
Man. All right.
Like literally,
Okay.
I'm this dude's beatbox, right? So it was just this really exciting time because you're watching this culture explode, this subculture explode. And in the middle of it, I was just stuck. I had to get out the house, all of that. So at the same time, my grandparents, I thought my grandparents were from St. Thomas, the Virgin Islands, because I was going there since I was 2 months old, right? And then once I hit like 6, 7, me and my sisters would go there for the summer. So I thought they were from there. I didn't know that my grandparents retired and then moved there, right? So during this year, the September before the January I got kicked out, they moved back to the States and moved to Atlanta. So that was the only place I can go.
So you go to Atlanta.
So I'll go to Atlanta.
At what, you 14, 15 at this
14
point?
years old. And it was like, talking about culture shock.
Yeah.
Like this is at that time, it was the fastest city in the world. And I'm in, my emotion is, like I'm in it. And then now I'm in Atlanta. My 2 grandparents who were the most solid humans I've ever met. Like they went to college in their 60s. Like they were just sharp athletes, like really on it. And their mission was like, we're gonna fix him. We're gonna tighten him up and get him straight. So I went to Atlanta, and I'm in Atlanta. This hip hop thing didn't happen. There's like little remnants of it, and I had to thug it out for about 2.5 years. But it was good because I changed my life. I went from, in New York, if you get a 55, you fail. If you cut school, you get a 40. I got 5, 7s, and 12s. Like they had a vendetta out on me. Like I had the worst grades anybody's, and I didn't pass any classes. So I went from failing every class to now passing every class because of my grandparents. So it's like every movie I see where you just got to go through that fire and you hate this person that's actually saving you until you get through the fire and then you love that person. When you understand. So I did that, and slowly but surely Atlanta was starting to get a little bit of the whole hip hop movement. The Fresh Fest had started. I remember I went to Jermaine Dupri's 14th birthday party, and this dude had the turntables. The literal opposite of my life, where my life was like, my family's like, you throwing your life away. His family was like, no. Here's his Technic 1200s. Yeah, this is your life, right? Yeah. So there were little remnants of that. I went to a popular school where, Ludacris, a lot of, there were like 3 high schools. I went to one of the high schools where a lot of music from Atlanta came from. And my grandparents, they said, hey, we built a house about 50 minutes out.
50?
Yeah, 50
That's
minutes
not
out.
close.
Yeah, this ain't in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Like this is outside of Atlanta. So I go there. Well, my grandparents they said, well, when you graduate, I'm in the 11th grade now. They said, when you graduate, we'll move out to the house in the country club. All right, cool. And I'm just sitting in this new house. I see cows on the way to school. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on? I literally see cows on the way to school. My teacher tried to paddle me. Yeah.
In high school?
Yeah. Teacher pulled the drawer out and pulled the paddle out.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Worst cursing he ever got in his life. And I just sat there and I just kept thinking about, because I go home for the summer, So I'm just thinking about everything I'm missing. And
in New York.
Like, yeah. I'm like, yo, you ain't never going to make a record. And I thought about it and I called my mother and I said, yo, just listen to me. She's like, don't start. Like, just listen to me. I'm going to kill myself. And if you think I'm playing, you go get a call from them people. I'm telling you, I got to come home. And my mother was like, you know what? Just fucking come home. And I came home.
And this is your 11th, 12th grade year, around that
11th, middle of my 11th year. Yeah. Middle of my
And she was like,
year.
all right, you can come back.
Yeah.
So do they let you back in school now, though?
Yeah.
Because now you done fixed your grades. You got everything together.
Yep.
You're a new guy.
I'm a new guy. I'm a new guy.
And
So I
all
come up,
this is to get to the music.
all of it's to get to the music. All of it.
So when you get back to New York, what's your plan of attack?
So I met in Atlanta, I met Andre Harrell, a guy named Casual Cal, who became the ringmaster for Soul Circus later on. He had like the video show down there. And I met them, and I met a guy from Sleeping Bag Records. And I got the guy from Sleeping Bag Records' number. So when I came up to New York, that was the first call I made. I go up there. He worked in promotion. He gave me a bunch of records. I'm excited, like it's gonna happen. And it just didn't happen.
It never happened.
It never
didn't
happened.
used to happen like that. Now
Yeah,
it may
exactly.
be a little different, but yeah.
So I went up to the label one time and I rapped for the owners. And there was a head producer there, Mantronic, and he heard me and he was like, yo, I want him. And I was like, for real? He was like, yeah, he wants to replace the rapper he's got with you. So I was like, cool. So the guy at Sleeping Bag was kind of hating on it. I was
Okay.
like, bro, you can manage me, whatever.
While he was trying to sign you directly.
Yeah, but I don't know what he was just on some weird shit. And I was just like, bro, what are you doing? So I ended up just giving up on it. Was like, fuck it. Now I'm in my senior year and I'm back into being an idiot. But
Okay.
I'm on course to graduate though.
Right. You're still handling your business,
Yeah.
but you
Yeah.
into some shit.
Yeah. And I get a call and it's like, is Bryce there? I'm like, yeah. He's like, this is Steven Shapiro. You know who I am? I'm like, nah. He's like, I'm a lawyer for Curtis Mantronic. I'm like, okay. How's he doing? He's like, well, I just signed him to $2 million deal at Capitol. I was like, okay. He said, so you want a deal? And everything changed from there. Got my first record deal in the 12th grade before I even graduated.
Shit.
Yeah, before I graduated. Yeah. That phone call changed everything.
Do you remember what you signed for?
Like the advance?
Yeah.
The advance was $50,000,
Okay.
and I think it was $50,000
For a 17-year-old.
Yeah, and I only got 10 of it. I got a limo from my graduation from high school.
Wait. You talking about this is what you spent your 10 on?
No, this is
Oh,
what
they
I spent
got you
the
one.
40 on.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't understand none of this shit.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you did actually get the 50.
No, I got the 10.
Okay.
My first check was 10.
All right.
And it was just like, you want a limo for your graduation? Yeah, give me and my cousin.
Billing.
Yeah.
They start billing you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get your limo.
Yeah. We did a trip to Europe.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we did a trip to Europe.
Bryce, time out, bro.
On business though, on Mantronic's business, right? Like promo shit. We stop in a suit store. I get a suit for $12,000. But I'm thinking, because Curtis is rich, so I'm thinking this is on him or it's on somebody, right?
$12,000 suit.
$12,000
At 17.
Yeah, I have no idea that this shit's coming out of my pocket before it even reaches my pocket.
You
Yeah.
thought you had a blank check.
Yeah, I thought this is what that life's about. Like, free shit everywhere.
Yeah, I'll take 2 of those.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I had a deal before I finished high school. By the time I graduated, I was probably hit Europe like 3 times at 17.
Wow.
Yeah. And
So
then
and obviously at that point, your mom probably had to sign the deal for you.
she did. Yeah. I had to go through the courts and all that. Yep. Surrogate court, do all of that stuff. Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So 17.
And as this is happening, you also, your homie, you see him become the biggest star in the world, LL Cool J.
Yeah.
Like, people don't understand how massive.
How massive that dude was.
It's the best way to put it. It's massive.
Yeah. Massive. Like he was an event.
Everybody
Yeah.
wanted a Kango.
Yeah.
Niggas
Yeah.
start doing push-ups.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
LL, bro.
Yeah. He was next level.
Walking around with the radio.
Yeah, yeah. That dude, he was next level. And he just had the hustler gear, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like he had,
So at that time, though, you go back to Atlanta, he blowing up. Do you are you still in contact with him, or it's like you just see him?
Nah, I'm watching him. So what I did was, in the school I had, they had a payphone in the hallway. I spent every dime I had calling this dude's house. I spoke to his mother probably 3 to 4 times a week. Todd home.
But he's out on the
Todd
road.
home? Yeah, he on the road. And then I spoke to him one day. He was at home, like literally after like 8 months. And this is, back then, I'm putting in $2 worth of quarters. You know what I'm saying? Like every day. So his mom's pickup, it's over. It's over for them $2.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's over for them $2. It was a financial struggle getting in touch with that dude. And then I got in touch with him, and he just kind of broke my heart. Like, nah, you can't come on the road with me. I was
Oh,
like,
you asked to come out.
yeah. I was like, nigga, rescue me. Like, bro, I'm in the country. Like, you gotta get me out of it. Yo, they was calling me Crush Groove, all kind of wild shit. You know, you come from New York, you mad arrogant too. So
Yeah.
it was a culture.
And I'm sure they didn't believe that was your homeboy.
No.
They're like, yeah, you don't fucking know
No.
LL Cool J.
They didn't believe that. They didn't like my attitude. I didn't like what was going on down there. It took me 2 years to like be comfortable around the Atlanta scene and be cool with people. Like
Yeah.
I had like a team of like 30, 40 New York dudes that I rocked with. And we would just, we get into it with the dudes in Atlanta and all that. I learned quick.
It's like prison in a sense. Like, oh,
Yeah,
you from here. Okay,
yeah.
you sit at that table.
Yeah, it was a lot. Atlanta was rough until I had to give into it. You
Right.
know, but when you straight from New York, you're not giving into nothing at first. It's gonna take a
No,
minute.
I mean, listen, we have a shared experience in that. I didn't go to Atlanta, but I went to 5 or 6 other cities because obviously my father was hustling.
Yeah.
And it would be a new school.
Yeah.
You got to have that first fight.
Yep.
All right. He know how to use
Exactly.
his hands. We're going to leave him alone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You
Yep.
have to.
You
It's
gotta
just
do
certain
that.
shit that happens
Yeah.
when you go to these new schools and these new places where you don't know anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you dressing a little different, you talking a
Man.
little different. Yeah.
Yeah.
It ain't easy. It ain't easy at all. You know, I learned them dudes in the South may talk slower, but they think fast.
Hell yeah.
They think fast
And it's a hood everywhere.
everywhere.
And it's street niggas everywhere.
Yep,
It's niggas that
exactly.
can fight everywhere.
Yes.
So you
Yeah.
thinking you walking into these places, thinking
Yeah.
you gonna do
Yeah.
something. It's like, I gotta figure
Yeah.
out how to survive
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
I'm at.
Exactly.
And I gotta have
Yeah.
respect
Yeah. Yeah.
for where I'm at.
You have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember I came down there. I was just on this old, Jamaica, Queens, Brooklyn, and all that. And I remember the 2 terrors in Atlanta was named Chip and Dip.
Chip and Dip. They was homies.
They was homies. And when I say these dudes would walk up to the school and niggas would go running.
Chip and Dip is
Yeah.
here.
These dudes had eyeliner.
Nah, man, come on, bro.
Yeah.
You taking it too far.
That eyeliner. And it was just weird. Like, I'm looking like, why are y'all like, what? But they were terrors, though. These dudes were actual terrors. But I just had to.
They was the literal
It was just in a
world-class
different
wrecking
form.
crew.
Exactly. It was just in a different form than, from what was in New York, But yeah, I had to take Atlanta serious. It wasn't a place to play with. I found that out.
All right, you on the road. You done been to Europe. How many times? 3 times? You
Yeah.
haven't even turned 18 years old.
Yep.
Y'all get your first hit record, though.
Mm-hmm.
How does that feel?
It was weird because our first hit record was
R&B.
Yeah, it was R&B, and it was top 5 or top 10 in America, but it was number 1 in every country on the planet. You look at Billboard, it was literally number 1 in every single except for America. So we weren't really hot in America,
Yeah.
but I would go to London. After a while, we go to London every month. Go to London, there'd be
And that's easier coming from the East Coast.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There'd be a Jaguar limo and a Range Rover out 24 hours at our disposal with drivers sitting in it 24 hours. So this is like this dude Curtis
you're
is
living it up.
yeah, he's Elvis over there.
Yeah.
Like he's Elvis over there.
And y'all
Like,
got a song called "Got to Have Your Love." I
Yeah.
can only imagine
yeah,
the good times.
yeah. He was like, and he was a giant, and I was just this young stupid kid.
So was he was the producer.
He was the producer. Yeah. So conceptually, this is his thing. He was a big producer that was able to do rap and R&B, and he was one of the first guys that conversed both.
Yeah.
Both
'Cause
genres.
Who sang that record? Who was the singer?
A lady named Wandress.
Okay.
Yeah,
But she
sung that.
wasn't in the group.
No. It was just me and him, but then we'd feature singers. So this way, it was a rap group, but this way he can really,
And y'all would have different singers come on the road and sing that part?
yeah. Like for that, she sung our first 2 hits. So for that, she would go on the road, and then the second album that I did with him, we had another girl named Jay Trini, and then she came on the road.
Bro, this is wild that you're
Yeah.
still a kid, literally,
Yeah. Yeah.
while all this is happening.
Yeah.
How are you embracing it? Did you get caught up in it? Being that young with a hit record and being out
Nah.
around the world?
I fought it. I had a really interesting journey that I'm really proud of. My girlfriend at the time, her family, New York, we all Caribbean. Her family was Jamaican, and there was a book in the windowsill, and I picked it up and I looked at her and said, "Is this good?" She said, "You never read that?" I said, "No." So she gave it to me. It was Malcolm X, the autobiography of Malcolm X, right? So my journey was I would go to Europe, and I was really resentful and hateful because I'm reading this book.
It's making you militant.
Yeah, it's super, super militant. I'm looking at structures like, motherfucker stole that shit from us. Like
Right, yeah,
that was the mission, right?
Yeah.
But it was interesting how the book just takes you on this roller coaster, and then he becomes this humanist, and then all of a sudden Europe and everything, different races and colors just became something
It
different.
opens
to me.
your mind.
Yeah. So for me, coming from where I come from, I had such a different perspective on life because now I'm not the racist at the beginning of the book. You know what I mean? Now I'm meeting like white people, Spanish people, Swedish people, people from all over the world that are actually really good people. You know what I mean? And that I'm still in touch with to this day. You know, like really quality people. So it was a really interesting journey that I had going on the road and reading that book. And it just ended well because I started to really understand like, wow, this is what the world is like instead of this bubble that I come from,
Right.
That changed my life.
Now that's incredible that you even had a chance to have that type of experience.
Yeah.
And to make some money.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And some cool shit to happen.
Yep.
At this point, you're really just focused on being a rapper.
Yeah.
When did you start playing keys?
So when I was in Mantronics, I was kind of upset the whole time because, this is Big Daddy Kane era, this is LL Cool J. I wanted to be that. The Rakim, I wanted to be that.
Yeah.
I wanted to be the hood thing. And I resented this international rap R&B. I resented that. And then after a while, when I started like opening up to the world, I was like, okay, this isn't that bad. So I would go to Curtis's house all the time. We'd be making music. He had a duplex in the village, and upstairs in the bedroom, I would just sit on the floor against the wall, and he'd sit by this $16,000 emulator keyboard that he had, and I would listen to him, and I didn't know exactly what was going on, but I'd watch the slide, and I would hear him hitting the sample, and that was like truncating, but I didn't know the word or how to do it at the time, but I would watch how he would fit samples into beats and stuff like that. And then I woke up one day and was like, I don't want to do this rap shit no more. I want to be him.
Huh. And this is why you're in the group, though.
Yeah. So I quit the group, and I called him, and I said, yo, what should I buy? He was like, what do you want to do? I was like, I want to make beats. And he was like, okay, go buy this computer, this, and this. It was $10,000. It was probably like $120,000 now.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought this stuff, and the learning curve was just crazy. But I didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like the era of New Jack Swing now, right? I come from this Mantronics group that's left of center, but mainstream radio is all New Jack Swing. So I sat in. I got a townhouse. Now I'm 18, 19 years old. I got a townhouse for like $2,000 a month, 4 stories, just crazy. And I'm sitting in my bedroom with this keyboard and this computer, and I sat there for a year until I figured out
How to produce.
Every record Teddy Riley did, I did
studied.
my best to imitate it. Yeah. Which was hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a kick or snare I want. There's a fucking bass note on top of it. I'm like, I hated it. But I did it. And then when I learned when I figured out New Jack Swing, I was like, I want to do a complete departure from this. Because the other thing that was hot was Tribe Called Quest.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you got New Jack Swing, which Teddy's the evil genius of all music. He's amazing. You got Tribe Called Quest, which is left. And then you got Mantronics in the middle, which is my teacher. So I was like, I'm going to do this over. And then I just came up with Groove Theory. I just basically did it over.
But before you get to Groove Theory and you're learning, are you trying to go the space of placing records? Or no? That's
No.
not even your thing.
No.
And
I
you're
didn't even understand that.
So at
word.
this point, and you're just living off the money that you made in the Mantronics.
Yeah.
You're not actually working.
No, I had a publishing deal for. I met a lady named Karen Durant, and publishing deals were $20,000. I sat down with her, and she kept wanting to do this deal with me, and I was like, "This is odd." So I threw out a number, $90,000, and she said, "Okay," and she got it. So I had $22,500 coming every 4 months, and then I had $60,000 from New York, cash.
Okay.
So I had money to live.
Yeah.
I just didn't spend much. $60,000 I wasn't touching.
Okay.
But I lived off of that publishing deal, and I just sat in this room, and then Karen's assistant was Amel. Yeah. So it was plug and play. Karen's assistant was Amel. Me and Amel were cool, and I would give them tracks, and it was starting to get ugly, and it was like, we don't know what this is, and we're about to drop your ass. And Karen was like, "Yo, you know Mel could sing." I was like, "Really?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "All right." Brought Mel to my house. I had a really dope track. She went in the bathroom with a mic, sung it, and that was it. Everything she did made what I was doing make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I saved my publishing deal, everything.
No shit.
Yeah. And I never got to the placing tracks. I never
never even went
understood
through
that.
that.
Yeah, I never understood it.
And obviously, okay, so when you and Amel get together and y'all make the demo, how long does it take for you to get an actual deal?
A little over a year. A little over a year it took. Because at the same time I met Jimmy. Jimmy and Peter Thomas had a company together from Real Housewives. They had a company together. And they had a English band called Rhythm and Bass. We gave them Tell Me.
Wait, you gave it away at first?
Yeah. Gave it away.
So when you said this in the beginning too, I'm gonna go back a little bit. When she went to the bathroom to record, it was Tell Me?
No, it was another song.
Oh, it was another song. I'm about to
Yeah.
say shit.
Yeah, no, it was another
Okay.
song. But Tell Me was like the second or third
was
song
really
we
early.
did. Yeah, really, really early. Yeah. And we gave it to Jimmy's group. And then at this time, me and Jimmy are getting to know each other. And when my money started getting short, then Jimmy started coming in, infusing cash.
Okay.
So I was funding the whole operation. Now Jimmy's helping. And I met a guy named Paris Davis who lived, my house in Brooklyn was on St. Mark's. He lived 2 blocks away on Sterling. His father knew my father. We didn't know, right? But his father knew my father.
How the hood work.
Right? Yeah, from when they were younger in Brooklyn. And he was like, "Yo, I'm getting this job at Epic." And I was like, "For real?" "Yeah, I'm getting this job at Epic." I got this townhouse. I said, "Yo, take that top floor." He took the top floor. I'm literally in my bedroom every day working on music, and I met the entire industry coming up my steps, going up to the top.
Because they're going to see him.
Yep. Literally every day, he's bringing somebody out. "Yo, what's up? How you?" "Okay, cool." I go back to my thing, and he goes upstairs. They go upstairs, they drink, smoke, do whatever.
Yeah.
And
Are you using the Bryce from the Mantronics? Are you using that at all, or it's not even a conversation
It's
at this
not even.
point?
It ain't even important. It ain't even important.
Because you know how this business is,
Yeah.
and you know how if
Yeah.
you know whatever the pitch is when
Yeah.
somebody introduces you. So you
Yeah.
literally like, nah, it's just a homie Bryce.
Yeah. For the people that knew about Mantronics, about
Mm-hmm.
remember that song, stuff like that. But we didn't make that much of an impact.
Right. And
You
you
know what
guys
I'm
were
saying?
bigger
Way
around the
bigger
world.
Around the world. Yeah. Yeah. So I was just his homeboy. I was just his little bro. And I just meet people and they go upstairs, hang out, and I just close my door and I just work on music every day. Yeah. And then he brought a friend named Jeff Burrows by.
Jeff.
And yeah. And Jeff was at Howard, I think.
Oh, he's still in
Howard-
school at the time.
Yeah, Howard or Syracuse, because I think they met at Syracuse at the time.
Okay.
Right? And Jeff heard it, he liked it, and Paris is now at Epic, but Epic is moving slow, so Jeff flies us out to Warner Brothers. Benny Medina heard it. So I'm like, okay. We sit down with Benny, he's singing every word to every lyric. Like he knew the
He's
demo.
studying it.
He studied it.
Yeah.
Right? So I was impressed because this was like Fresh Prince just come, Benny
Yeah.
was, he was that guy.
He's the guy.
So he did that, and then Paris had to step it up. So me and Jimmy was like, "Bro, you got to do something. If not, we over here at Warner Brothers."
Mm-hmm.
And got back to New York, set up a meeting with Tommy Mottola, and Tommy was like, "What do you want?" I was like, "Publishing deal for her. What else?" "I don't know, like 600,000, 500,000." Yeah, there's a girl coming to y'all, Melody, get her a publisher deal. Anything else? Nah, we good. And then
You
we
didn't
signed
ask
a
for
deal.
another $12,000 suit?
It was different by then.
Right.
Yeah.
So where did you come up with that number?
The numbers were usually 250, 300.
Okay.
So I didn't want to ask for something that was a deal breaker, but I wanted something that was reasonable,
Substantial.
but substantial. You know, substantial where they knew, we do this for $500,000-$600,000. We got to work this group.
Yeah.
You know, that was really the magic number that me and Jimmy in Paris talked about. Yeah.
And there was also a publishing deal being done for her too, though.
Yeah. And then she got a publisher.
And were you still in your deal?
Yeah.
So you couldn't do a new deal.
I couldn't
for
do a
that
new deal, yeah.
But for the group.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's something I paid attention to. You said when you left Mantrana, you said, I want to be him.
Mm-hmm.
And now when I look at Groove Theory, that's who you became.
Yeah. I became him. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I may be wrong, but do you rap on the Groove Theory album at all?
Mm-mm.
I was about to say, I don't remember hearing you rap on that album.
I never touched that rap shit ever again.
And then on Tell Me, a lot of people thought that was
I
you
sung it.
singing, and it was
Exactly.
Trey Lorenz.
Yeah. We gave it to him too. Trey demo Tell Me as well.
So you just kept his vocal from the demo?
Yeah.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is not like, oh yeah, we got this song, it's knocked out. Hey, yo,
No.
Trey Lorenz, I need you to sing this part.
No, we gave it to Trey after Rhythm and Bass,
Oh shit.
right? Because they just had a deal on Epic London. So we gave it to him. He was on Epic as well. He was on fire. He handed it into the label. Epic was like, this ain't pop enough. Like, you're going pop. So we was like, cool. So we finished the whole Groove Theory album. And we sitting in there with the engineer, Angela Piver, and Amel, and my guy, Darryl Brown, who's a great musician, played on a bunch of stuff I did. And we sitting there, and then we learned about that closed composition clause at that time. And they're like, you need another song. I was like, let's just redo fucking Tell Me. You know, the anthem in New York was Rising to the Top.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got a whole new vibe we're going to do it on. And we sat down, did that. She did it as literally the last record. Not as a Hail Mary. Not as a Hail Mary. Not none of that. Just like we got to fill a quota. Like, just let's just do Tell Me. And we did that.
It wasn't going to be on the project.
Not at all. That was the last record. That was the last record.
And ultimately it was someone else's record at first. Like, it
Yeah.
wasn't even like, yeah.
Yeah. So when she got to that part, we just punched him in. That was it.
You want my love.
Yeah.
Tell me what you
That
want
was
to
it.
do.
We punched Trey in, and that was it. And then the world thought it was me. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Because obviously I didn't know you at that time. And I'm like, oh, well, that's the,
Yeah.
yeah, it's him.
Yeah. They both
I
singing.
guess. Yeah, like,
Yeah. Yeah, that was Trey.
that's crazy, bro.
Yeah. Yep.
Was it ever, obviously he's always been in the credits, but it was never like featuring Trey Lorenz. So you kind of like, if you knew, you knew.
Yeah.
Does he perform that record?
No, I don't think so.
No? Nigga, I'm getting that off. If I'm Trey, I'm performing. Yeah, guess
Yeah,
what?
Exactly.
And for my next trip, I'm going to sing Tell Me. I guess you didn't know that I was on that record.
Yeah. He did an interview with somebody. He was like, as soon as the guy brought him, he said, wait, did Bryce say he sung that? He was like, nah, he didn't say. He's like, oh, okay. I was like, yeah, but yeah, that's his voice on there.
Now you guys, you got another hit record. You're in it again, but now you're in it in a different way.
Different way, yeah.
What's the focus for you now? Because that's the other thing I feel like with Kindred Spirits in is the pivot.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I've done different things in this business. You've done different things in this business. What are you locked in on now for when you're in it and Tell Me takes off? Smash record.
When it took off, the fight was for me to be seen. That was the first fight.
What do you mean? The fight
If you
for
look on the album cover, I'm blotted out.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Because I never thought about that part.
Okay.
So it was done, and it's time to do the visuals and the video and all that. I'm like, yeah, let her go do a thing. And they're like, no, you got to do it too. I'm like, no, I don't. Like, you have to. So everything was forcing me to be in the video. You know, they put me in the video. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I'm like, okay, let me stand by this board, look stupid. Okay, let me. I don't even know what I played on this, but turn the volume down. Let me, do that. Let me do a little two-step, and that was it. So that was the next struggle for me was like,
You're fighting with the label.
Yeah, with the label.
As all these artists are trying to figure out how to be in the front,
Yeah.
you're like, nah.
Yeah. So album cover, I was like, I'll do the shoot, but I got to be in the back and I got to be blurred out. So we did
So
that.
why didn't you? I mean, other than I get the the group you had come from, but why didn't you just sign her as a solo artist if it was
Because
going to be her project as far as the artist?
I didn't have those thoughts. Every thought I had as a producer was what I learned from Curtis. Everything. So I had no departure from the that concept group, whether it's Soul to Soul, CNC Music Factory, or Mantronics. That was all I had in my purview. That was it.
Yeah.
So that's all I knew. That's what I went for.
Okay. Now the business of it.
Mm-hmm.
How does that break down when ultimately, and I can't speak for her, but if she's looking at it like, well, I'm singing, so now we got to go perform these things live. How does that work? When it's like, okay, whatever the fee is, y'all getting paid a show, y'all getting $20,000, $10,000. Are y'all like, okay, it's a group, so if you want groove theory, we split this?
Yeah, we were 50-50. So at first, Amel was gonna sign to me.
Okay.
Right, and me and Jimmy got her a new place, and I dropped her off, and she said, "Hey, my lawyer wants to talk to you." I was like, "About what?" "I don't know." Okay. Next day, I get a call, go to the lawyer's office, and the lawyer's like, "Yeah, we're not doing this.
Not doing what?
We're not doing this. Her signing you." I'm like, "What do you mean?"
This is while Groove Theory is out, or no?
No, this is before.
This before y'all get the deal, or
Yeah, this is when the deal is sent to the lawyers.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, so she's supposed to sign to me, and then I go through the deal. So
you were going to be the
minute-
furnishing company.
Yeah. So last minute, he's like, "No, we're not doing that. Y'all gonna be 50-50. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I paid for everything, and I put her in this. Like, what are you talking about? So me and him had it out, and he's like, "Groups don't do this." I said, "What about CNC Music Factory? What about Soul to Soul?" "Well, yeah, they did. What about Mantronics?" "Yeah, but they did." "Well, I come from Mantronics. What the fuck you talking to?" I just
You
go
blacked
off
out.
on him. Yeah, blacked out on him. So my lawyer's on the phone, on speakerphone. He's like, "Let's take a recess. This is getting too hot." So I go in the conference room, and he's like, so I find out what's happening. Benny Medina called her lawyer. So I'm like,
Oh shit. Hey kids, this is a music business. If you're tuned in and you're watching this right now, this is how the music business really works.
this is how you learn to play chess.
Yeah.
So, I love Benny's a really good friend of mine. I love Benny to death. But he had to do what he had to do. Yeah. I told him no. So he was like, "All right,
I'm gonna get a piece."
Yeah. I'll get her then. So when that happened, I was just stuck. There's nothing I could do. So I go in there and I'm like, "All right, we'll do 50-50. We do the 50-50 deal. I don't have any producer points, none of that. It's just produced by me, but everything's 50-50. So I'm basically an artist, artist split. Yeah.
You're not getting no extra producer points on top, nothing.
Nope, just 50-50, right? And that worked out. It was fine.
Yeah.
It was fine. And then later on down the line, it kind of came back to bite me because I was in the background so much.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a show. They say, "Okay, we got a clothing budget." I give it to Mel. I go to Barney, spend $1,200 on the shirt. I already had money. It wasn't nothing. So I would just give that to Mel. And then it just started to seep into everything, where it became like a weird power struggle, and I was losing it because now you're hearing little murmurs from the label like, "Well, she's the talented
She's
one.
the talent. She's the face.
So we go ahead and take her." So I was like, "Wow, okay, that's interesting." So then I did the smart move. My biggest crush at the time was Toni Braxton, right?
Okay.
I've known Billy Woodruff since I was a teenager, right? I met him in New York at an album release party, some shit when I was like, me and a bunch of dudes from my hood, we just at this party. And Billy got me an autographed picture of Toni saying, "To my future husband, see you at the Grammys."
Oh shit.
Right? This picture every day. Anybody come to my house, I'm like, "Yo, read this.
Read this.
All right, so now the group
You've
days
never
out.
met her at this point.
Never
though.
met her.
Okay.
Now the group days out, I get all these phone calls. "Yo, guess what? Toni wants to meet you." Okay. I go meet her, and the same day I meet her, I meet Ellie Reed and Kenny Babyface. LA's in the studio, and he's like, "You brought some heat. I'm like, yeah. He's just sitting in there, just like loving every fucking track. Then me and Toni start hanging out, and then that leads to the record with her.
Yeah.
So now the power dynamic.
Because you
completely
produced.
switched. Yeah.
And co-produced and co-wrote.
Yeah, exactly.
You Making Me High.
Yeah. So now I'm with, now I got this #1 pop and R&B single, and I'm on the road with Groove Theory.
Yeah. And you're in the video.
Yeah. And then I did the video, which was, that,
Turned you to a sex symbol, brother.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it
Yeah.
did. It
They was loving you out here in these streets,
Yeah, it
dog.
changed everything. Bill Bellamy said to me then, he was at MTV, he said, brother, BET is good, but MTV will change your life. And Groove Theory was definitely BET, and Toni was absolutely
MTV.
Yeah, MTV.
Yeah. Megastar.
Yeah. So that happened, and then I was in the Atlanta family. It's me, KP, Dallas, LA, I was like, forget. Because in New York, you had to either come through Andre Harrell, Russell Simmons, or Puff.
Yeah.
And I circumvented all of them by just going to Atlanta and messing with the big boys. And when that happened, then everything changed. Everything changed. And I was young. I was an asshole, because y'all been playing me this whole time. So, yeah, now I'm on fire.
But y'all on the road, you said.
We on the road. I got off the road. I said, Mel could take half my money and go do the shows. It just wasn't worth it anymore. I'm making $40,000, $60,000 a song.
Yeah.
I could stay at home and do 2 songs a week. I'm 120 in. I don't, I was like, I could plane crash. I'm not doing that. I'll just stay home. So that changed the trajectory of everything. And then, Epic is calling me in to pick the first singles. Everybody's offering a joint venture. But I was more, that was my ego trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, my ego trip was, I was a nobody, y'all, and y'all was picking her, and now I'm selling 270,000 units a week, literally. Now that record's 21 million, so
Good Lord.
I'm on fucking fire. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, it was just such a difference, the Groove Theory world to the the pop world,
Right.
And that changed, and that's when it became the placement king, of everybody wants, A&R guy walks in the room, and I look at my engineer like, when I say hit it.
Right.
Play something. Who's that for? That's Michael Jackson there. Mike wants that.
Mike
for
wants
real?
that.
Yeah, Mike wants that.
Was you capping or was you telling the truth?
I was capping.
You were capping.
Oh yeah. I made up a different artist every single time they came in that room. I made up a gigantic artist. Like, that's for them.
Yeah. Whitney Houston gonna
real?
do that. She said
Yeah.
she's just here.
Yeah.
You missed her.
Yeah. And he be like, for real? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, unless you get the check tomorrow, I'll see what I can do. But, turn that up some. Turn it up. Get them hooked.
Play it on the bigs.
Yep. Exactly. Get them hooked. It was just all fun and games after that.
Yeah.
You already know. You got.
Have you left Groove Theory at this point? Like officially?
No, I didn't leave, but we got our deal for the next album, and then things just went left because now things are changing. The Mel is like, I want 60% of every record. I'm like, how? It's like, yeah, you need to take 40, I need to take 60. I'm not doing that. Then the label's like, we're gonna front y'all a check for $100,000 to get started. No, you're not. This is $2 million for the next album. You're not giving us $100,000. $100,000 comes because everybody like, come on, you gotta take this money. Then it's like, well, Bryce is making so much money. Why? Give me 60 of that, and I do it. But by that time, it's just broken.
Yeah.
Part of the label is like, Mel, come over here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm tired. And I always wanted Groove Theory to be a different featured singer on each project. Yeah, so mentally I was on to another sound that in my head was way, way, way more dynamic than what Groove Theory was. Groove Theory was cool, it was mellow, it was jazzy, it was hip-hoppy, but I want some fire shit just jumping out the speakers. So my mind was there, and the Mel's mind was on like, I just need to go do my own thing. And then the power struggle between me and the label, I was just like, it was vengeance time for them. I ain't gonna lie, it was vengeance time. It was like,
they were not gonna let you be more successful there with them.
Well, they wanted to, but I was like, no. Like Paris Davis, they fired him. And I sat down with the president of Epic. He said, I know you got Paris a new job at Atlantic. Yeah. What'd you do? I did the Change of Faces video. He's like, what?
You and these damn videos,
Like
bro.
exactly, like to have that much power where you do a video for somebody and you can get another human being a job, an executive job.
Yeah.
Yeah, so after that, it was just like, it was just my playground. And Group Theory was just, at that point, it was, I don't want to say it was too small, but it just wasn't worth the headache.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't worth the headache. Y'all played me, and it's like, I now there's no one in front of me. There's no one that can say no and stop my motion, because I'm the motion. People want me to do their music, or their video or whatever, but
Yeah, don't leave that out.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was the pivot. That was the new life for
And
me.
the main focus was now you are a mercenary in a sense. You are
Exactly.
a hired gun to go get these records.
Exactly. Yep.
And at that stage of the music business, it was a lot of money to be made.
And it was a super producer era.
Yes.
It's only like 5 of us.
Yeah.
So once you get that super producer under your name, it's like,
No, niggas was getting paid.
yeah,
getting paid.
Yeah, it was a different.
Did you have in your mind though that you were going to do another group or do another artist project? Was that a part of your focus then too?
Yep, that was part of my focus. I actually ended up doing one. I did another album with a girl named Makeda Davis that was from Devontae's camp. Mm-hmm. Right, because remember Missy, Timbaland, Genuine, all of them were from Devontae.
Yeah,
Barry Hankerson
the basement.
came and, yeah, exactly. Barry came and took all of them, put them over in Blackground. And I found this young girl that was from that camp that was just insanely talented. And I did a project with her that was just an extremely undeniable, crazy album. And I did this album, and we got into politics with it. She wrote Best of Me, the remix, with Maya and Jay.
For Maya, yeah.
She wrote that. And we were having problems with Epic, and I text Puff and Steve Stout, and I said, Makeda's free agent. Good luck, niggas. And I got a call in 2 minutes from Tone, from Trackmasters. He was like, Steve wants it in the scope. All right, did the album over there. Then Steve left.
But this is not a group though.
No, this is a Group Theory album.
Oh, this is Groove Theory. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I had the second album at Epic. Epic was acting weird about black music. Got off of there and then got to deal with Steve Stout at Interscope. Did that album. Steve left and started going into the marketing world. I'm there with this album. Did I take that album off? I got both labels and took my masters. It was not in my deal. I just took it because nobody stopped me.
Yeah.
So I took all the masters. And then, Chill from Chicago?
Yes.
Chill. Lupe's guy.
Lupe's guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Chill was best friends with Jay at the time. And he calls me up. He's like, yo, you trust me? I'm like, yeah, this is 5 years later. I'm like, yeah, what's up? He's like, come to New York. I come to New York. Jay's there. Beyonce's there. We play the album. And they just sitting there like, yo, what the fuck is this? I'm like, I don't know. Jay's like, bro, you wasting yourself. You stop? I'm like, yeah. I stopped making music. I just got turned off from all of the personal demands of giving everybody money, all that. And he said, yo, we'll be back. Him and B took the CD. They called back 2 hours later, said, we want 6 records. I was like, for real?
And
6
this
records?
stuff is 5 years old at this point, you said?
5 years old. 5 years old. They took 6 records. Jay calls the next week. He says, yo, we at the Rose Bowl. I played these records for Janet. Janet wants this Sorry record. Could we get that Sorry record to her? 4 for Beyonce? Yeah. All right, let's do it. Then Janet got a record. All of these records were just, and they're all 5 years old from the Makeda project. Yeah. Yeah. So Trackmasters loved it. We did the first single that we had. They did a remix because they had that R. Kelly moment.
Yes.
With the best of both worlds and all that. So they did a remix with Maya and Jagged Edge on it. Like everybody wanted a piece of this record. So I basically just sold the record out.
Just pieced them out.
Yep. A. Marie, Beyonce, a bunch of people. Beyonce ended up only taking 2 because her father had already paid Scott Storch. But yeah, between Chill, me, and Jay, we just gave them records to everybody.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a crazy, crazy album though. Crazy album. Like that, yeah. Makeda was exactly what I was looking for. It was way more dynamic. It was like, we did a showcase and she's singing a Natural Born Killer. Dre and Ice Cube, yeah. Like she was a rock star. She was different. super hood, super rock stars, everything. Yeah,
Then you turn into an actor.
yeah. Then I wanted to be that guy. Yeah.
What made you say that to yourself? Like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna try this acting thing.
I got tired.
Was it because of the videos?
No, it was because of the group theory situation. I didn't like being held hostage by an artist. I didn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I said to myself, if I can get used to the camera, I could probably do this acting shit. In the midst of this, Tracy Edmonds had called me to do Soul Food when they were doing the series.
Yeah.
And she was like, Bryce, you just got to trust me. I flew out here, the dumbest audition you could ever see was done by me. I'm literally like this, like, and he said he's going to the store. I'll be right back. Like, shit was so bad. Like, it was unbelievably terrible. It was just really bad. So I did that, and then that killed. I was like, I don't want to do this acting shit. And then there was an opportunity for Vibe magazine was doing a TV show called Weekend Vibe. And I got on a plane to LA, and my lawyer at the time said, yeah, they doing this thing. And I was like, if I host this show, then I could get used to the camera, and then I could act. So I land in LA, and they're like, auditions are tomorrow in New York.
Of course.
And I'm like, all right, well, I'm in LA, so I'm cool. And I sit with myself, and I'm like, don't be a little bitch. Just don't. I literally turn around, fly back to New York, and I'm like, you just go be who you are. If it's ghetto, if it's whatever it is, that's what you gonna do. I saw a bunch of people in audition, and they're like, oh, hey. And I was like, I'm cool, let them. And I'm hearing these people go, and they just sounded just so plastic and scripted and corny. I just go in there, and I'm like, I read it, and they're sitting there, and they're like, well, introduce this. It was like some artist.
Yeah.
So I just freestyle it. This artist comes from I'm in the music business. This artist comes from so-and-so. She was discovered by so-and-so, do all that. And they're like, you got the job. So I did that job.
On the spot.
Yeah. I did that. And then I went on into acting from that. Yeah. I
That's
couldn't just
crazy.
jump into acting.
Right.
That first attempt was, yeah.
But you were preparing yourself.
Yeah. I was preparing myself. For sure.
You got a legendary scene. I don't, me and you ain't talked about this, but I'm going to bring it up. In Beauty Shop. A legendary scene where I want to say you might be the first brother to introduce the man bag. That is now very popular in our community.
I absolutely
Now
was.
niggas like, yeah, I keep 100,000 in here. I
Yeah.
might got $1 million in this bag. I might
Yeah.
have a pistol in here.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
was in the shop
Yeah.
with a man bag.
Yeah.
It wasn't very acceptable at that
No,
time.
it was not. Yeah, and I felt crazy. Yeah.
Can you take me back to that scene, please? And how that was introduced to you? Like, okay, so this scene, you gonna walk in.
Yeah, it was just weird. They were like, yo, your character's not gay, but they don't know. I was like, they don't know? But am I? No, you're not. But they don't know. Okay. And they just started popping shit out on set. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like I'm in wardrobe, like, all right, cool, I'm ready to go. I got on baggy pants, I got on Tim's.
Yeah,
So I'm like,
cornrows.
cool, yeah,
Yeah.
cornrows. And like, oh yeah, hold on. One other thing, they put it around me. I'm like, you can't be serious. They're like, it's the role. Like, yeah, this is what you got. So yeah, I had to
So
do it.
this wasn't in the script that you had read, though. That okay, this is what this is you introducing.
No, because I didn't read. There was a part where they talked about it, and I didn't read that part yet. Yeah.
I didn't read that part
I didn't read that part yet until like the day before, and I didn't even notice it. I didn't notice anything until they put it on me, and I just felt crazy with Tim's on and a
Right.
purse. Yeah, it was crazy.
Because going back to your Mantronics days, you had been around the world.
Mm-hmm.
Had you seen that already? Because obviously that's something that came from overseas. That's not like an American thing.
I saw Haitian Jack was the first person. He used to
Okay.
carry a little thing in a little bag. It wasn't a strap bag, but he used to always carry that. And I used to always look at that like, oh, that's interesting.
Always had a man bag.
Yeah, but it's Jack. You ain't gonna question it.
Right.
You know, you're definitely not questioning
gangster.
nothing. Yeah, it's gangster.
Yeah.
And, he ain't holding the wallet in there. So that was the first time that I saw it. But yeah, I never saw the shit with a strap on. The strap on it. That was just that was a
Crossbody.
Yeah, crossbody. Yeah.
No, bro, you
Yeah.
the first.
Yeah. 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 Exactly.
You're in urban history, bro. Like you're the first one. That scene is very legendary, bro.
Yeah.
How was that movie for you?
It was good.
Did you know a lot of the cast already, or
Nope. I only knew
you knew Latifah though? Obviously.
Knew Latifah and Billy. Me and Billy got a history. The same thing with the Toni video. I didn't want to do it, and he was like, "Well, you got to do it." And I was like, "Nah, I don't." Jay and DMX were getting hot. I was like, "Yo, this is dude Jay, my man from Brooklyn." This other dude DMX. Toni was like, "I don't care about that." So Billy was like, "You got to do it." I did it, and then it worked out. So when Beauty Shop happened, I had did another movie called Hair Show with Monique. And he called me and I was like, bro, I did this other thing. And he was like, bro. And I was like, you want me to just shut the fuck up and trust you again? He's like, can you just do that? Can you just shut up and just show up? And I just went to audition and got it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he was the director of it. So
he was the
like,
director of
just
it,
do good enough and I'll figure it out for you.
Yep.
Wow, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you became a real actor.
A real actor after that. Yeah. And then I quit that. I didn't have a next guy to be like, I want to be him. I just was like, I think I was like 32. I was like, I don't have the stomach to get 10 years of no before they tell me yes.
Yeah.
You know, I did that. I did the 100 auditions where I only booked 3 out of 100.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did all that.
You did the whole route?
Yeah, I did that. I went to film school. I did all of that. But that's when the music mind came in, you know, because the music, it could be me, you, an engineer, and it could change our life.
Right.
Film, you need 30 people crew, 60 people crew, you know.
Yeah.
It's
It's no making a movie without all of those things.
Without all the moving parts, yeah.
So you're like, all right.
I was like,
I'm out.
I had the heart for this in music. I don't have the heart for this for acting. You know, I just didn't. In my 30s, I was like, I don't have the heart for this.
You walk away from acting.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to deal with, you know, the back and forth of the rejection, and you know, people don't realize that you audition all those times to maybe get one role.
Yeah.
And you go out. What's something? Okay, before you do that though, what's a role that you auditioned for that maybe became something like really dope, and you're like, fuck, I could have been.
I don't know.
Was there any like big movies or anything that you auditioned for?
American Gangster, I auditioned for, which I definitely wanted a role in that.
You was gonna be Denzel?
No. I wish.
You Frank Lucas?
But I think I was supposed to be like his nephew or one of the brothers or something. And it was the hype around it before they shot it.
Oh, the hype around American Gangster was very high.
Yeah, the buzz around Hollywood for that was really high. So that was a role that I really wanted.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a lot of ups and downs. I remember I got so cocky. I went to this audition, and I was like, I'm gonna go kill it, and I flopped so bad. The casting agent was like, "And where'd you come from again?" Cause she heard so much hype about me. I was like, "Yeah, I know." She was like, "Yeah, okay, get out of here."
Hit you with the "Where'd you come from" again?
Yeah. Cause she heard a whole bunch of hype, and he just got this role. Yeah, and I went in there, and I literally was on the plane reading these lines like, I'm gonna go murder this. Who else is going for this? I'm killing all of them.
So what happened? You just forgot the shit once you got in there?
I just flopped. I don't know what happened, but I flopped bad. I was just like, door? All right, cool. I say no more.
Because you know when you fucked up. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know you fucked up.
Yeah.
All right, acting's now in the rear view.
Yep.
Do you go back to producing? Do you, like, what's the...
No, I just chilled out. I bought a 7-bedroom in Hollywood Hills. I was just chilling.
Why did you buy a 7-bedroom? Why did you need 7 bedrooms, Bryce?
The house was a good deal. Seriously, the house was a good deal.
We always tell ourselves
it was a good deal.
Something wow. Yeah, I bought this one car, and I remember it had this button on the side that made all my doors open.
Yeah,
I was like, wait, so it's how much more? So it's $30,000 more for the doors, for the touch door.
Yeah,
stupid as hell, man.
Yeah. I bought
At least
that
yours
house.
was a house.
Yeah, bought that house. I was chilling in L.A. Then I bought a condo in Miami, and I had another place in New York. And I just went every 2 weeks from each place to each place. And I was in real estate at the time.
Okay.
Right? Because I'm invested in 2 hotel restaurant groups. So my plan after all of this, I was like, I'll just like do clubs and hotels, stuff like that. And I had all this property everywhere, and the market started shifting. And then it was education time.
That crash that happened.
That
yeah,
recession that happened. Yeah. So everything, like every dime I had was in real estate. So I went from having 4 cribs, 2 in LA, Miami, New York, to ending up in Atlanta.
Back to Atlanta.
Wondering if I could pay the rent.
Shit.
Yeah, like I felt so hard. The thing, it wasn't really, the fall was obviously bad, but it wasn't really the fall. It was the fact that I had no options. You know what I'm saying? I had really good friends in this business. L.A. Sylvia, Craig Cowman, but the people under them, I was an asshole to them because they were assholes. I didn't like record people.
Okay.
I didn't like that whole he's hot now, so give me a record that sounds like that. I just didn't respect any of that, you know? So when I went broke, there was no coming back to my old job. You know, there was no, because at this point now the executives,
You didn't have those relationships.
yeah, and they're
Not
the
with
star
them.
now. You know what I mean? They want to be the star. You know, everybody now wanted to be like Puff. You know, so it wasn't about the music anymore after that. It was about, give me something that sounds like what's number 1 on the chart now, you know? So I just sat in Atlanta like, damn, I'm really broke. Like, should I get a job? Like where does this go? You know? I just really didn't know. And my royalties never came for any of my songs.
Why?
Just never came. 50 million records. To me, I made about $540 million for the labels. Never got my cut. Like, when you got money, you just be sitting like, I guess it's coming.
Yep.
Right? Never came. So I sat there in Atlanta, and this whole culture was shifting, and this new culture was emerging with indie bands and EDM DJs. So that was my pivot. After that, I started, I met a guy named Junior Sanchez, one of my really good friends, and Junior's a house DJ, one of the best producers I've ever met, and just has great relationships everywhere, and huge audience, like people. He's a legend in that world.
Okay.
And I used to make these pitch decks, and I would call Sylvia in L.A. and I say, hey, you know, this EDM thing is like, we need to get in on this shit, because this ain't our culture. They took our house music and made it into something else. And I wasn't really getting anywhere with it. And it was weird. I would put Swedish House Mafia in my pitch decks, right? Because they were the case study on the genre, right?
Yeah.
And I called LA, and LA was like, I don't know nothing about this stuff, but I know it's huge. I want to do the meeting. So I was hooking up a meeting between L.A. Reid and Steve Angelo, who Junior introduced me to. Steve Angelo is one of the members of Swedish House Mafia. And L.A. was doing their TV show at the time, American Idol or one of them. And they kept pushing it back. So by the 4th time they pushed it back, I said, listen, tell L.A. we're not going to do the meeting, but just let him know. When he brought my man Jay in that building, Jay sold out the Garden in 24 hours. These guys sold out in 4 minutes.
Shit.
And they were like, for real? I was like, yeah. Swedish House Mafia sold that shit out in 4 minutes. So I left it alone. And it was an interesting thing. So Swedish House Mafia became the biggest band in the world at one time, right? And then they just woke up one day and was like, what are we doing? Let's just stop this shit. And then they announced one last tour. Swedish House Mafia's over, we're doing one last tour. So in one last tour, I went to the last show in Miami. Me, Junior, Maxwell was there. I met Steve Angelo, and then I moved on with Steve. Worked for his company, ran a management company, and then I became his co-manager. So now I'm in the EDM world, and you know, the private jets and the arenas.
Yeah, they live a whole different
It is
life.
such a different game, yeah. And it's a game that you have to respect because they never needed radio for it. You know, these guys $40 million, $70 million a year, and they never needed radio. So all the things we rely on, they didn't rely on. They just needed the internet, and that was it.
Yeah.
You know, $1 million a show, $2 million a show. These guys are playing for 2 hours, making 200,000, $1 million. Like it was
nothing though.
Yeah, yeah. It was. So that was where I pivoted to. I pivoted into that world, because it was. I just couldn't get no hate from there. You know, nobody could shoot at you in the dark.
Yeah.
You know,
and you a new guy in that space.
I'm a new guy in there. Nobody knew.
But who's also tenured, right? It's like
Exactly.
you're new to the space, but when they run your resume, they're like, oh, and he did,
Yeah.
and he did, and oh, yes,
Yeah.
he's supposed to be here.
Yeah, and I had friends in Sweden that these guys grew up under. That were my friends from Mantronics. days.
Mantronics.
You know what I mean? So it was all like a full circle moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was the black tee guy every day. That was my uniform, black tee for these guys. You know, if you came to a show, if you were a barber, a banker, whatever you were, you go wear black tee to that show. Like you had to dress like the Swedes, and I was
Yeah.
already dressing like the Swedes, so this was perfect. You know, and it taught me. I did it because I wanted to really understand how the business of that world works.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how you can become such a big success without the machines that we rely on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they. You
What
know,
label were they on?
They were on EMI.
Okay.
They were on EMI. Now they're on Def Jam. But Steve, when they disbanded, Steve was on no label. He was on his own label. But it was interesting. I ran the management company. We had a creative agency, like a full-on creative agency. And we literally were a full 360 within this building. Like he just got this gigantic office, and we were full 360. So when he had an album coming, an album release or a single release, the amount of creativity and intelligence that went into it was just like mind-blowing. Mind-blowing.
And was this technically your first job, in a sense?
As an adult, yeah. As an adult, yeah. Yep. My first job. It was $6,000 a month. Number one, at that time I
You
was like,
needed it.
I'll take this, yeah.
Yeah.
And number two, I was just getting a front row seat to something that was just exploding all over the world. You know, that was completely different than the world we came from, but bigger in a sense.
Yeah.
You know, much bigger in a sense. Yeah, it was a great education.
Did you stay in that world as far as like taking on other artists in that space?
No, I stayed in that world for a while, and what happened was Steve's best friend and business partner, they had a bit of a falling out, and then me and him got cool, and then we started being business partners. And then we just went into all different kinds of businesses after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But that was that was a moment. That whole EDM thing was definitely, that was, to me, that's, being an artist I think is cool, being a producer is cool. I think that's the coolest job on the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you make your music and these people pay for you to come and play your music.
Play your music.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah. You get on a private jet, you do a couple of edits on a laptop, and you walk in literally with a USB and plug that into the damn CDJs.
And it
you're out of
runs
there.
for 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they got some little, what's some little things that be going off?
Yeah, the pyro, tire text, all that. Yeah, yeah. It's huge. It's a different world. It's definitely a different world. And as producers, one thing I did get out of it on the music side, on the creative side, was I retaught myself how to produce. So I produce like them.
Mm-hmm.
Because technically, we cannot touch. DJs are the best producers on the planet.
Absolutely.
By far.
Yeah.
By far.
Cheat code.
Yeah. By far. Because they're doing all of this in a box.
Right.
You know, vocals, engineering, they're mixing as they're making the music. It's just such a completely different skill set. You know, I've sat with producers and played them records and said, how would you recreate it? And they think they can until they actually try. And they just don't understand
They can't figure that shit out.
Yeah, how intricate it is. Yeah, it's a serious game as far as production. Yeah. So that gave me a new spark as far as a producer.
Yeah.
You know, where whenever I do decide to go in the studio, my angle and my entrance into it is completely different than the old me. Yeah. Way different.
So what's next?
Content.
Okay.
Content. The one thing I did when my money was messed up was I just sat in the house doing nothing for so long that I said I need some kind of structure in order to get back into the world. And when I was younger, I had boxed twice in my life. I did karate when I was really young. My karate teacher then actually lived on my block as well. And he was one of the other people, Pietro Molino. He was one of the other people I have a couple of people that saved my life, right? Mm-hmm. He was one of them. So I was always into fighting, and there was this, you know, from a teenager, I was watching UFC from UFC 1, and this whole Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu movement came, and it got to the point where I was like, number one, I want structure in my life. I need to start something with structure because I'm just feeling worthless. And number two, I'm okay with my hands, but if I ever come across somebody that knows this, I don't want to. I don't want to be in that kind of deep water.
Yeah.
It's different getting knocked out than someone slowly breaking your arm or your knee or choking you on. That's a completely different.
Yeah. It's
that
like
does
death.
something different. Yeah. That's you're looking death in the eye.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I really that was my motivation. I was like, let me just do this. I started like 44, 45 years old, which was crazy. Like I'd be in there and they'd be like, we talk on the mask, like, yeah, I'm 45. Bro, he's 40, you know he's 45? Bro, he's fucking old, bro. Shit is 45 years old as a white belt is traumatizing, it's exciting, but it takes a lot of heart. You know, It takes a lot of, and you get your ass beat every single day. It takes you 6 to 8 months for your mind to reconfigure to understand what's going on. And for those 6 to 8 months, you're getting murdered. Like you're getting literally murdered.
Right. You can't beat up nobody in the gym.
Yeah. You can't beat up anybody at all. You know, this guy's got knock knees and pigeon toe, and you're like, he can't, and he's killing you. And it's just a discovery. You know, it's just a discovery of a different level of information, you know? So I did that. I did that for 5 days a week for 8 years straight. 8 years straight, I did that.
5 days a week.
5 days a week. I just shut my mouth up. If me and my partner had something going on, I'd make it to the meetings and everything, but everybody knew 12:15 to 2 o'clock, he's going to be training. I did that for 8 years. I'm on my 11th, 12th year now. And about a year ago, a light bulb went off. Because I'm like a cultural snob. I think you are too. Like, as like the level of music we did, like we're elitist. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like we're haters. We just want to show the world our version. You know what I mean? So about 2 years ago, I had this idea, and I was talking to this girl. I was actually my partner on the podcast. And she said, well, you want to address theatrical and performative masculinity. And I was like, that's what the fuck I want to address. Yes, that. So I'm doing a bunch of content stuff that are introducing combat sports culture into our culture, and also just confronting a lot of the crap in our culture. A lot of the tough guy shit that we do and all of that. I really want to address a lot of that full on, because I just think that we're so lopsided in that sense that it's just dumb. You know, like we were here when the culture was not about that. You know, so I want to kind of add a counter conversation and a counter balance to it. Besides the fact it's the fastest growing sport in the world.
Right.
You know.
Nah, people are crazy about it.
Yeah, they're crazy about it. You know, it's.
I mean, it's the last gladiator sport, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, this goes back into the olden days.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And it changes lives.
Yeah.
It really, I mean, for me, at that point when I had no money, no hope, no nothing, that was the thing that came through for me. That's when my camaraderie went through. And I mean, and I've shared the mat with like real gangsters, like Navy SEALs, like Delta Force, like real, like people that really get up and do gangster shit every day,
right?
Whether they want to or not, because the president said, go do this. You know what I mean? So that alone, just that world, I think we are behind in. You know, there's a couple things that technology stuff like that we're behind in.
Yeah, within our culture.
Yeah, that we need certain beacons to kind of catch us up on that stuff. You know, and I think that white people are doing MMA like black people did basketball.
Right.
Like it's serious out there.
Yeah.
You know, it's really, really serious. So that's the new mission, just to really do that. I got one more belt left, and I might stop after that. I don't even know, but you know, it's something that you could do till you die. You know, I see people at 70, 80 years old doing it. You know, so that's where my passion is now. I'm slowly going back into the studio. I just did this song with Stormzy and Tyler.
Yeah.
That was interesting, but I just did that. I'm doing Lupe Fiasco, doing some stuff. We want to kind of bring him back to the radio spot now. So, yeah, so it's cool. I like I like doing music now that I don't need it to survive.
Right.
You know, it just feels better.
Yeah.
You know, to
Now
not
that
have
rat
to-
race is different.
Yeah, it's way different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
And it's a
completely
young
different
man
thing.
sport. To me, it is.
Mhm.
You know, it's a young man sport to do. You know, the placements and all that stuff. I don't got the energy for that.
Did you ever think of like being on the label side or doing anything in that capacity?
No, I mean, I've thought about it at times, but I don't think I would ever get that position. And I don't know how long I would last in that. Because I don't, like, for me, I only want to be involved with something that pushes the culture forward. I can't just sit still and just keep repeating,
Yeah.
you know, what's been done.
Right. You're not an analytics.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
that's a fun job. You know, like when we came into this, it was all about everybody having an identity and everybody adding something. You know, and that whatever that addition was, pushed the shit forward. You
Right.
know? And now I don't really see that desire with, you know, within the labels or any of that stuff. I just think we're in a weird spot. So yeah, I think with the combat sports, that's something that my heart is in, and I think that's something that we're falling so far behind in. I don't mind trying to help that,
Right.
you know, push that to the front.
Yeah, no, bro, it's dope, and I'm always very supportive and happy when I speak to my peers and my people I consider family,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, "Yo, I found something else that I really enjoy."
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't
Yep.
have to be the norm of what
Exactly.
everyone is doing or
Yep.
everyone is chasing.
Yep.
You find what you like to do,
Yeah.
and you know what I mean. Like even for me, you know, it's funny. Like when people. They're like, I didn't know the podcast nigga could sing.
Yeah, it's
Like,
interesting, right?
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I kind of came from
Yeah,
that. And-
exactly.
And I'm known for this now. And
Yeah.
But I'm appreciative of it because I really enjoy this space. I really enjoy the multimedia space.
Yeah.
And the content space and giving something different
Yeah.
for me personally.
You've been a star
Thank
your
you,
whole
bro.
life. So a star is a star.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you was on Fries, you're still a star. You know what I'm saying? You're just like the nigga
These
on
motherfuckers
Fries
coming out
is-
hot.
Yeah, exactly. He's a star. Yeah.
Put a little salt on that thing,
Yeah,
man. You send them
yeah.
out there.
A star's a star. You always been a star. You know, it's funny with you because you always been a star, but you always low key been a gangster. From a family of that. Nobody knows that though, but
they started.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
he
getting
got
out
a history.
more,
He got a
man.
history. I got to interview you because he got a history. Like the pretty boy thing is an afterthought. That's just that's what God gave him. That is what it is. But you just always been a solid dude.
Man,
Always.
I've always been intentional about that, man. About
Yeah.
I always want to show up for my people.
Mm-hmm.
I want my word to be my word.
Yeah.
And I feel like it sustained me through this business that isn't always, as people would say, isn't always real.
Yeah. Yeah.
I found the real spaces in it for me.
Yeah.
And I found the people who I consider real.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to stay as locked in with them as I can.
Yeah.
Even if it's, we may not talk for, whatever amount of time, but when we do, it's always the same type of love and respect.
Yep.
And I don't care what, quote unquote business I'm supposed to be in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to operate that way.
Yeah.
I don't
But that's
get
why
in
it's
people's
working for
business.
you.
Yeah.
That's why it's working for you. Your relationships are from when you were young, and
Yeah.
it's just paying off now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But this is the vibration you set as a very young man, and you're just walking into your own vibration that you set. That's all this is.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? And it's great.
Now I'm enjoying myself, bro.
Yeah,
like
I
I
can
am.
tell.
I really am, and I wanna put this light on people that I know, not even that I think, that I know deserve.
Mm-hmm.
To have this light, and it's been a hell of a ride for me, man, and an experience that I'm super thankful for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm super thankful
Absolutely.
to the people who tune in and are
Mhm.
interested.
Yeah.
And who I
Yep.
think and we think
Mm-hmm.
should sit down and have these
Exactly.
conversations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, bro, it's so many of us that have been a part of this thing that sometimes don't always get the opportunity to have that light shined on them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And for me, man, that's something I want to be a part of.
No, absolutely. And
Yeah.
having a place where people that you've known for a long time that really, really mess with you, to have them tell their stories, it's like, that's gold.
Yeah.
That's gold.
Yeah. Now this is really a lot of these are me catching up with my friends, and that's
Yeah.
really it, man. We talked about this before we start filming it. 90 to 95% of the guests on this show are really my personal friends.
Yep, exactly.
Up until this point,
Yeah.
like, and that's and some people who've come after we met through this have become
Exactly
my friends.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And people that I really, really enjoy and have great relationships with now from this show.
Yeah.
So bro, this is a really cool thing, man. And I'm happy that you pulled up on me, bro. Like,
I'm happy to be here.
dog, this is super
really
cool,
happy to be
man.
here.
But let's get into some of this music thing, man. Let's get into this music that Tank sent over, man. So come on, let me play you something real quick. We got to see your thoughts on some stuff.
Top 5.
Yeah.
Your top 5.
Yeah.
Top 5. Your top 5. R&B singers.
Okay.
R&B songs. We got to know before you go here on this show. Everybody wanna know your top 5. Yes. Top 5.
My man Tank.
Your top 5.
Boy, ain't no joke. Oh, wow. Okay.
That nigga don't got no sense, man.
No sense at all,
Crazy
yo.
as hell, man.
No sense at all.
No, fun. Before we get into this, though, did you produce the record that he was in the video for Sharissa?
No, man. I forgot about I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
'cause I know y'all
didn't
had
produce
that-
Yeah. Well, I played the dud and he played the stud. Yes, I forgot all about that.
Tank a video hoe too, bro.
That damn Jimmy, I tell you, boy. That was another one I stepped into. I ain't quite know what the hell was going on. Until I got in there, I was like, oh, I'm the dud? I'm the one knocking on the door and she don't answer. And she in there with Tank with the muscles? This some bullshit here. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I just thought I'd bring that up.
Yeah.
We all together, bro. We all been there. We
Yeah.
all been there, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get into the music, man. Top 5 R&B singers.
Male and female?
Whatever you. Top 5 for you.
R. Kelly,
Kales.
KC,
Mm-hmm.
Dead or Alive? Old or Young?
Whatever come to your mind, brother.
Donny Hathaway for sure.
Of course.
I gotta go a little left. Bob.
Bob Marley.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love Bob Marley, bro.
Yeah. The world is still catching up to his message.
Yes.
So gotta be him. I'm trying to go with people that were like really like slap me in the face artists. I gotta say KC.
But you said KC.
Yeah. I did?
Yeah, you said KC. Because you said Kales first and then you said KC.
Okay, Kel's KC, Bob.
Donny Hathaway.
Donny Hathaway.
Bob Marley. Who you got?
Sananda Maitreya. You know who that is?
I don't.
That's Terrence Trent D'Arby.
Is that his?
Yes.
Wait. That's the name he changed or that's his real
That's
name?
the new name he's got. He's had it, what, 20 years, 15, 20 years? Yeah.
Sign your name. Oh, man.
That dude there,
It's incredible. It's
he's
incredible.
Sam Cooke, James Brown, he's everybody.
Yeah.
I would say him. Yeah. Yeah,
Nice,
he's a beast.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Top 5 R&B songs.
Anything off of Diary of a Mad Band.
Okay. All right. Okay.
What was that Toni record? Love Should Have Brought You Home.
Yeah.
Love that.
That's a great song.
Yeah. Anything by Guy.
I mean, you were studying it for.
Yeah, anything. That Teddy Riley is. Whew. Yeah, the Goodbye record by Guy. That one. I Don't Want to Leave You.
I don't really
Yeah.
wanna leave you, baby.
Yeah. That one there. For All We Know, Donny Hathaway.
The most patient record.
Yes.
It's very hard to recreate that or to even sing it with him because of the timing.
Yeah.
And the pocket that he has on that song.
Yeah. Is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely For All We Know. And Sananda Maitreya, he's got a song called If You Go Before Me. I like death songs for some reason. Yeah. I mean, think about when we was younger, those were the songs. I'll die for you.
Yeah.
I like them kind of songs. I like the I Will Die For You
That's
song.
real emotion.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I like Take It to the Grave songs. So, yeah. If You Go Before Me, Sananda Maitreya, that one, yeah.
I like Take It to
Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna throw Prince I Would Die For You in there? Like we could
That's one.
Yeah, like
That's
okay,
one.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, I like them joints. All of them.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Okay, so now we're going to build the ultimate R&B singer. We have a thing called the Voltron. And it's the vocals, stage performance, styling, the drip. We're gonna put the fly shit on, and the passion of the artist. We're gonna start with the vocals. Who vocal you taking for the superhero ultimate R&B singer? Who gonna sing those songs?
You know what? I'm gonna say Babyface. I'm gonna say Babyface.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, people watch the show know that Babyface is like top of the top for me. So
Yeah, I'm gonna say Babyface.
okay, so Babyface the singer. Performance style. Who gonna kill the stage?
R. Kelly.
Man, listen.
R. Kelly. R. Kelly had a mean
His
show.
live show,
It's so crazy.
crazy and
So
theatrical.
crazy. Yes.
All of it, and obviously,
Yeah.
just hits after hits after hits
Yeah.
too. Like it's
He's
Makes
got
no
a presence, and the way they used to put his shows together with the costume, the everything. Yeah, he.
No, it
he
felt
was
like
moving.
stage plays.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Okay, styling. Who gonna put the fly shit on? Who's a fly artist to you?
Damn it, I left him out in the old list, Joe. But I'm not gonna say him for style.
Okay, but he's your vocalist.
Vocalist, hell yeah.
Top 5 R&B singers.
Yeah.
Yes,
For sure.
No argument.
Style, I'll go with R. Kelly.
Which version though? Like you talk about like with the little mask on R. Kelly?
No,
Pied
hell no. No. Like cool, not the baggy suit R. Kelly, like the black leather blazer.
Yeah.
Cool R. Kelly.
What about the mink though? When he had the mink on the cover?
The mink, if
The
it
mink-
fits
the mink-
that
okay,
song,
the mink
yeah,
was fine.
yeah.
The mink was fine.
If it fits that song, for
Okay.
sure, yeah.
Okay, so Kale's he gonna get the
He get 2,
performance style and the style.
and the look.
Okay,
yeah.
but not the mask.
Absolutely not.
Okay, cool.
Not the mask or the suits. None of them.
And who has the passion? Like who gonna make you feel it? Who you think would die for this shit?
Who would die for it? I'm gonna get home and be pissed because the real answer's gonna come when I.
Well, that's how it goes. You
Yeah.
you were supposed to prepare. You didn't, but it's okay. You my brother.
I tried. I did try. That's the one I skipped. But I did
This
try.
like that audition
'Cause
you
it was
fucked up on.
Yeah, exactly. Because that was overwhelming. The Voltron, like that. Fuck, that's overwhelming. Passion. You know what? I'm gonna go super level passion. I'm gonna go so level. This one, I'm gonna go super left. You gonna look at me crazy?
Okay.
Gerald Levert.
No, I'm not.
Okay. All right. Good.
No, I'm not. He used to
Okay.
roll on the floor.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. This is me, dog.
He lived it.
Legend of legends.
Yes. Yeah.
Come from it.
Yes.
That's Eddie's
Yes.
son.
Yes, that's Eddie's son.
Yeah.
He'll lose 5 pounds on that stage. Gerald was not playing.
Not playing.
Yeah. And
Not
as big
playing.
as he got in his career, he still had the same passion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you talk to Tank will tell you that it was Gerald Levert who told him.
Yep.
No, young fella. You got to give your all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give it all your all.
Yeah. Yeah. He checked me a couple times. Called me Hollywood. I was like, I would call me Hollywood, nigga. Hollywood. But I sat and was like, is he right? Yeah, he ain't no joke.
You got Hollywood on Gerald a couple times?
No.
No!
I didn't get Hollywood on him, but I felt it though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I felt it though. Gerald had the presence that he was 20 years older than you when he wasn't. But he just had that father presence,
Right,
you know?
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And then for you, who's going to produce this artist?
I got that.
Are you producing it?
No.
Oh.
Absolutely not. I got it. And it's not Kells. Who does Babyface look up to?
Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis.
No. El DeBarge.
Oh, yeah. So you're going to have L produce it?
Absolutely. Nobody knows what to do with them but El DeBarge, 1,000%.
Wow.
That is the genius right there. That dude
El
there,
DeBarge is Eldritch?
yeah. Creatively, spiritually, and just gift-wise.
Yeah.
Gift-wise, he's yeah.
No,
he's
to this
different.
day.
To this day.
To this
He's
day.
so different. Yeah, he's different.
I watched L. We had him and Tank did a show together in Vegas a few years back.
Mm-hmm.
And I had some family members there with us, and we watched in awe. In
Yeah.
awe.
Yeah.
I want to say it might have been for something that D Nice had. It might have been
Okay.
It might have been one of the club quarantine
Mhm.
shows or
Yep.
something. And we were just like this.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, the dude's insane.
Nah.
Yeah. Yeah.
He this cold still?
Yeah.
To this day?
Effortless, just cold. Like he's no
It's
joke.
easy. And you know he
Yeah.
got on the piano.
Yeah.
You know he played.
Yeah. He's
It's like,
no
come
joke.
on, bro. You are
Yeah.
the cheat code. And
Yeah.
you know, his bop is this way too,
Yeah.
though. Everything
Yeah.
is here.
Exactly.
Everything is here.
He got the timeless
yeah,
bop.
it's like
He got a timeless
Yeah,
bop for
yeah,
real.
it feel good
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah. And in conversation, he'll drop something spiritual on you that'll just like fuck your whole life up.
yeah.
Like he'll just like he's deep. That dude is deep.
I'm still trying to get L to pull up. L, you told me
Yeah, he needs to.
you were gonna pull up. L randomly will text me
Oh, really?
at 1 a.m.
Oh,
when
wow.
we setting up the interview.
Really?
Like, whenever you want it, I'll hit it back. Like it ain't,
Yeah.
I ain't got one of them texts in a minute, but like
Yeah.
I'll be like, bro, whenever you want to
You
pull up,
gotta get him on here. You have to.
whenever you want to pull up, OG, I got you.
Whew. Yeah.
But yeah, L,
What episode are you on?
man, I don't know,
170?
170,000 something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Make him your 200th
Man,
episode.
please.
That'll
I would
be
love
your 200. Yeah, he's that dude right there. He's an alien.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's something else.
Nah, it's a cold Voltron, bro.
Yeah.
All right, we got something else for you, man. Before you get out of here.
I ain't saying no names. 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 Who you was, who you with, what you did. Don't say shit. I ain't saying no names.
Yeah. So we didn't come to a very important part of the show, brother.
Okay.
Will you tell us a story, funny or fucked up, or funny and fucked up?
Okay.
The only route to the game, Mr. Bryce Wilson, can't say no name.
I got one.
Oh, quit. Oh, okay.
I got one.
All right. Okay.
So, I'm in New York, and I dropped off at I forgot the name of it, but Dame's studio back
You,
then.
you
right?
saying names, brother. That's
Oh,
four,
I can't.
that's,
Okay,
That's
I
4
dropped him
names
off in the
already.
studio. Okay. Oh shit!
I dropped my friends
I
off.
dropped my two
at
homies
my
off.
other homie studio.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
I dropped my two homies off at the other homie studio, right? They say, you coming up? I'm like, no. In the car, I have an artist with me. And it's kind of like weird energy. So I'm just leaning on my window outside, listening to music. Music Soul Child I'm listening to. A neo soul singer I'm listening to, right? And I'm like, I just bop my head in my own world. And I'm getting tired of the energy. So I'm like, yo, let me take you to your hotel. The artist says, yeah, that's good. Okay. I don't know if there's an attitude change. I don't know, right? I just ain't got time for it right now. It's drizzling. New York City is dark outside. The strangest thing happens. I get to the block. I make a left turn, and I hear real light. And I look, and my door is cracked, and my car is empty. I don't know, but Batman was in my car. I can't say no names, but when I turned that corner, I heard the wind.
This person just hopped out
In the rain.
or drizzle.
While I was moving.
You hadn't stopped.
I didn't stop.
So stop, drop, and roll.
I don't know if they tucked and rolled, if there was a cable. I have no idea what
If there was a
happened.
cable,
I don't know.
you was driving the bus.
But I heard the wind.
What?
I made the turn. I heard the wind. I looked. And my passenger seat was empty. And my door was cracked. And I leaned out. And I closed the door. And I went around like 5 blocks about 5 times.
Because you're trying to find them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I looked on this side of the street, went around, and looked on this side of the street, and then I gave up. But that was a feat. That was a feat that to this day I have no idea how that happened. But yeah, just like
Did you ever speak to said artist again?
yeah, but never talked.
But they were okay.
Oh, they were fine. Yeah, they were fine. They were fine. They made it to their hotel and everything. It was just weird.
Felt a little first 48-ish, man.
Yeah, it was weird.
Huh.
Yeah,
And so you've never talked to this artist about that?
never. It was too strange. Like, I don't even know how to like. This is weird.
So you can fly. That's it. The next time you see me,
Yeah.
like, so, that time you
Yeah.
flew out my car?
Yeah, it was a Batman move. I heard a little bit of wind. By the time I
heard
looked
a
here,
little bit of
the
wind.
car was empty. Yep. And my 2 homeboys that I dropped off did not believe me. And I'm like, I'm telling you, I made a turn. That's all I did. And poof, gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Because we're gonna bleep the names you said. But that's a wild story.
Yeah.
That's a what the fuck.
Yeah. That was a what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I have no idea how they exited the vehicle. I didn't even hear the feet hit the ground. That's what was great. Like I didn't hear the feet hit the ground. I heard nothing
All you
at
heard
all.
was wind.
I just heard wind. That was it.
And they
I
were
just heard
gone by
wind.
that time.
Gone.
Yeah, that's wild, bro.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I don't know what part of the turn the escape was. I have no idea.
The escape.
Yeah. I have no idea.
They didn't want to ride with you no more, bro.
No, they didn't. They didn't.
They didn't
I
wanna
was
ride.
in there. I was dropping them off. It was like,
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
nah.
Sick of this shit.
Yeah, he was like, I'm good. Okay. Good move.
Wow, bro.
Well played. Yeah.
Hey, man. Thank you again, bro.
Thanks for having me, brother.
This has been incredible for me, man.
Thank you, man. Me too,
My brother, for real, man.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
I'm J Valentine. This is Bryce Wilson. And this is the R&B Money Podcast. I'll see y'all next week.